Hello there, ladies and gentlemen, con goers and tantrum throwers. My name is Jared, and with me,
My name is Faith.
My name is Hope.
Hello, I'm Anna.
And my name's Joy.
and we will be your hosts for this episode. We have just returned from TantrumCon, and we wanted to give some of our thoughts about the weekend. TantrumCon is a yearly convention held in Charlotte, North Carolina, put on by the famous Tantrum House from YouTube. There's games, play-to-wins, an exhibit hall, crokinole, and all kinds of other great things. So as we dive in, we're going to each give some of our thoughts and our experiences from the weekend. All right, everybody. Well, how's everybody doing today?
Good.
Good.
Hope says that you should have also greeted all the boys and girls that might be listening because they might want to go to this convention too.
It's true. Yeah, if you're a family out there who's wondering where you might want to take your kiddos on their first gaming convention,
TantrumCon is the best choice.
Yeah. I agree.
thanks, Joy. I think Anna and I would also agree that this would be a great first step, as we've experienced multiple cons and none of them are quite as family-friendly and also gamer-focused as this one is.
I agree. So this was actually our kids' very first game convention. Jared and I have been going to game conventions since before we even had kids.
True.
Well over a decade. But this was the kids' very first time. And so we're going to get to hear a little bit of our perspectives on the con. And you're also going to get to hear from a 9-year-old, 7-year-old, and 5-year-old about how the convention experience was for them too.
That's
and
right.
I even saw little toddlers there walking along with their parents, being like, ooh, can we go at this game next?
Yeah, first time.
Nice. All right, well, let's go ahead and start it off. So I'm the only one that did the TantrumCon preview, so I want to get your thoughts going into the weekend. Joy, you're our 7-year-old, for those who don't know. Can you give me some of your thoughts that you had before the convention started, as we were leading up to the day of?
I was nervous because Daddy told me that there was going to be a lot of people.
Uh-huh.
And I was kind of excited too. I was excited because I knew it would be really fun.
Okay, nice. Hope? Were you excited leading up to TantrumCon, or were you nervous?
I was so excited. It just felt like it would be the funnest thing ever to go to my first gaming convention.
Nice. Very fun. Faith, as the 9-year-old and one of the extroverts of the family, were you at all nervous about the idea of going to a convention with 1,000 people?
That would never happen. So, leading up to the convention, I was so excited. I had been excited as soon as I heard about it. But we got to get ahead on school. We got to pack.
There's lots to do.
I loved getting ready for the trip. And then we started driving there. We had so much fun on the way there. And then when we got there, we got to stay in an apartment for the first time ever. So the week was already special before it had even started. And then we went to the game convention, and that was like the best thing ever.
All right. You're getting ahead of me. So, very excited. Lots of firsts leading up to the convention. I love it. Anna, we have been to really big cons in Gen Con, which has 70+ thousand people. We've been to small conventions that have a couple hundred people. We've been to our own retreat that has like 30 people. I will admit, for me, I was a little nervous going to a mid-level convention because I wasn't quite sure what to expect. You know, with a small con, we know it's like basically open gaming, maybe some play-to-wins, but that's more or less going to be the focus. And so I was like, okay, I'm mostly nervous because of the girls and them having never done this before. Are they going to be able to handle 4 days of gaming? And I would say that was my main concern. Otherwise, I'd heard so many great things about TantrumCon that I was excited just to get to go.
I'd say I maybe felt slightly different than you. I think that the mid-level tier of convention may have been one of the things that most excited me.
Okay.
I know at Gen Con, I mean, it's hard to even find your own party, much less make good relationships with anybody else, even though we did get to make some good relationships back in August. And when we've gone to the smaller conventions, we have been able to make some good relationships. But smaller conventions don't attract as many, I guess, people in the industry, which is also fun to hear. It's really fun. One of my favorite parts, I've talked about this before on the podcast, of going to conventions is getting to see all of the different sides of the industry. I like talking to, oh, hey, this person's the designer. This person did the artwork. This person is trying to make their own prototype. This person might be on Kickstarter soon. It's neat to see that. And so I felt like a mid-level convention would give me that, but where I could actually make relationships. And it wasn't just we're passing in the storm like it is at Gen Con.
No, I totally understand that. And honestly, like once we've experienced it, that was something we experienced a lot of. Like it was very easy to just stop at a booth or even just run into a designer or somebody like that in the hallway and have a cool 10-minute chat, which would never happen at Gen Con. And at a small convention, you would never see them because there's 1,000 small conventions, so they can't go to all of them.
Right.
So it was just, it was really cool to have kind of that mid dynamic. I liked it a lot.
From what I've heard about Gen Con, I don't think you'd be able to do anything except play games.
You do a lot of...
You can kind of just shuffle along behind the person in front of you.
You do a lot of looking at games because the exhibit hall is so packed. But
It's
you
so
do
packed.
play games as well.
Yeah. But that was another cool thing about going to a mid-level con is I was like, oh, we're going to get more playthroughs as opposed to demos, but potentially there might be more people to teach because at a smaller con, there's not a lot of as much teaching and that kind of thing. Like you said, a lot of times it's open play. And I was very excited about a convention that was maybe would have more kids and would have families and would be family friendly for them. I was also not sure how they would do it 4 days in a row of gaming. I was prepared to take a day off and stay back at the apartment or
go do something in the city.
Take a half day,
Yep.
do something in the city. We were prepared. Spoiler, we did not need to do that.
Yeah,
The kids did great.
they did.
I think there was like one time that I was like, it's getting really hot in here because like the full Play to Win was really packed and I needed to take a minute because I get overheated. But
Yeah. So, okay, so those are some of our emotions and feelings leading up to it. Faith, you mentioned the Play to Win just a second ago. Why don't you start us off? What was one of your favorite things to do at TantrumCon?
so one of my favorite things to do was, so first, as Daddy said, I'm an
Extrovert.
extrovert, and I love going around and talking to people.
You do.
So, my favorite part was the exhibit hall, and I had 2 really, really fun moments from that. The first one was, I think it was like our second day there, and there was this guy selling a game, and we got it, and then the next day we came back and we had a problem that wasn't in the rule book. So, we were talking about how are we going to solve the problem. And I said, well, what if they just discard their whole hand and draw new cards instead? And he was like, well, that's a great idea. We better get you some credit at the bottom of the rule book. And I was like, wait, what? And he said, you get credit if you help out with the game. And I was like, oh, okay, that's nice. So it was really fun. That was fun.
That's awesome.
And then the other one was Mommy was playing a game, and my sisters were kind of being like, meh, and all sorts of stuff. They were crashing because they were being like, we don't want to talk to people anymore. So I said, well, what if me and Dad go talk to people and you stay with Mom and see if you guys can find something fun to do. So it was really fun to go talk to people, and we were able to get a few review copies, and I was able to show Dad some of my favorite games that we had gone with Mom before.
Nice.
So that was my 2 fun moments from the exhibit hall.
Yeah, Faith, it was really cool to watch you interact in the exhibit hall and frankly everywhere at the con because you did such a great job of being open to conversation and talking to people, and you would ask questions and just treat people as people. But you also showed like genuine interest in a lot of the things that they were there to sell. I remember day one, you saw someone playing Dodos Riding Dinos and wanted to go help them out because they didn't know how to play.
And they were looking at the rule book. And
That's
I was
true.
like,
And
hey,
you knew it because we were getting ready to review that one.
And I was like, Daddy, do you want to go help teach them?
Yeah.
Did Daddy even go with you? I thought
No,
just
we
you
both-
went
no,
over.
we both did
We
it.
went
Oh,
together,
okay.
but I chipped in every once in a while.
She did. Yep. And then the other thing, and this is part of the family-friendly part, Faith was old enough that we went to go look at one of the demoer booths, and the guy was showing Faith this fishing game, and Hope and Joy were not interested. They wanted to go do something else. And so I was able to tell, I was like, hey, Faith, when you're done, come find me in the play-to-win area.
Because Daddy thought that he was just going to teach the game real quick, and then I would go find him.
Yeah. But they played a full game of this fishing game.
And it's like, no idea until like almost the end of the game.
It was like 45
I was like,
minutes.
how long is this game supposed to take? And he was like, about 45 minutes to an hour. And I was like, wait, I'm leaving Dad for that long?
Well, you did a great job because then you came and found me as we were wrapping up our game and we were going to come find you. But you did a great job with all that. So that was really good.
And then you introduced the rest of the family to your friend the
That's
next
right.
day because you guys got to know each other really well.
Yeah, that happened a couple times. That was pretty cool.
I made a bunch of friends and then was like, hey, this is my parents and my family.
Joy, what about you? What was one of your favorite things to do at TantrumCon?
I loved the tuna meal and the Play-Doh-Win. The 2 tuna meals we did was about dragon tricks
Mm-hmm.
The Dragon Tricks game was great.
and hot streak. Both of them were really fun games, and we got to bring home a game for dragon tricks because Mama won it.
Mm-hmm. And did anything special happen in the Hot Street game?
Oh yeah, 4 people were gonna get chosen to race.
Okay.
And they dressed up as a queen, a bear, a hot dog, and a fish.
Nice.
It was really fun.
And
That's
those
cool.
were all supposed to be mascots, right?
Yeah.
And they're the characters in the game.
And it was really funny because we had a little boy at our table. And he said, I'm going to root for my food because we were having hot dogs for lunch. So he's like, I'm going to root for my food. And then when the hot dog got off, we were all like, no, it was the bear that our team chose. It was the bear that our team chose. And then when he got knocked off the board, everybody else kept cheering, but me and the little boy were like, we're gonna start cheering for our food instead.
That's
So
awesome.
it was really fun.
Me too.
So, Joy, you mentioned some things about the Turner meal and why you liked it. Why did you like the Play-to-Win?
I liked the Play-to-Win because I thought it was really fun that it had all these different games that you could play to win them.
Mm-hmm.
And I thought it was really fun.
We spent most of our time in the Play-to-Win area, didn't we?
Yeah.
And we got to experience a lot of new games that we'd never played before.
Yeah.
So, Hope, what about you? What was one of your favorite parts about TantrumCon?
Playing the fountain game.
Okay, so they had hot games, which were games set up and run by, they were being demoed by a group called Love Thy Nerd. And they were the newest and the greatest games that were all set up, ready to go. And Fountains was one of them, right?
Yeah.
And you and Mommy played on a team.
Yes.
And what did you do?
We built a fountain.
You did.
And you put fishes and lily pads in it. But at the end of the game, those scored points.
They do. That's right. Good job, baby. Did you like any other part of TantrumCon or just the hot game area?
I also loved the Play-to-Win area because because there was this game called Smug Hour, and it was just so good.
That's awesome, baby.
I also loved just making these cards
Mm-hmm.
that a guy was going to make a card game with.
Okay. Yeah, he was making some kind of like homemade game, and he was asking for input from different people on their note cards, right?
Yeah.
Nice.
And Hobie, do you remember the one card that we made together?
Art is about where you could either change seats or flip a table.
Whoa. Well, okay, so at TantrumCon, one of the things that they do each night is flip tables. What did y'all think about that?
It was really funny because I remember the guy saying because the first one that we went to, there were the people called up there were all like, "Oh, we don't want to flip this table because this might be a new game." And he was like, "Oh yeah, these are copies of the game that our library didn't want, so they said it's okay to destroy them."
Nice.
So that was really funny.
Yeah, the people had to wear costumes every night, and I thought it was really silly.
You did?
Yeah.
Fun.
Do you remember what the first night was?
It was a Mario night.
Was a Mario night after they did some Mario trivia.
And Joy knew more Mario trivia than I did.
That's true.
Good thing you were on my team, Joy.
Yeah, good thing.
Dad and I only knew 2 of them.
Yeah, we did pretty bad. Hope, did you like the table flipping?
Yeah, and I also had a game that I liked.
Okay, that's a good transition, Hope. What was everybody's favorite game? And we'll start with Hope.
Mine was Hasty Baker.
Ooh, tell me about Hasty Baker.
So you just had to, make 5 recipes before everyone gets 5 recipes. Otherwise, if you don't get 5 recipes before someone else does, then you lose the game, and that person wins it.
Okay, so it's a card game?
Yeah.
Okay. Is there a lot of playing cards that steal from other people?
And then there's action cards where you can, do 2 more actions. Or do 2 more. Or do, 2 more.
Or steal a card.
Or steal a card. Or, get. Or,
You can make somebody else discard.
or you, discard someone's thing that what you got from them.
Yeah, like when Faith spoiled all the frosting.
Yeah, you can also spoil things, but what I'm meaning is you can steal things from other people, and then you can discard that card.
That's true. That was one of the ones that you found in the Play to Win area, and you girls thought it was so much fun.
And then we won it.
Yeah, it was kind of fun because, like Jared said, we spent most of the time in the Play to Win, and there was enough of a variety. We were pretty much only playing games that were rated for 8 and under, and there was a great variety. We were able to spend just hours and hours in there and play so many different games, and the kids had 2 games at the end that they really wanted to win, and Hasty Baker was one of everybody's favorite, and our family ended up winning it. So it was really exciting for them.
It's very fun. Joy, what was the other one that you really wanted to win?
Echidna Shuffle.
Can you tell me a little bit about that one?
So there's cute little echidnas where they start on a leaf on the board because there's these yellow leaves.
Yeah, and they each create paths, right? The leaves do?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And they have to carry different colored bugs to that color stumps. The bugs are all different kind of bugs.
Okay, that's right. And you have to, the stumps are laid out all over the board, right?
Yeah.
And you have to follow the leaf path to be able to get to them?
Yeah. We thought that it wasn't fair if a starting point and its stump were on the same space.
That's true. You don't want to do that. because then it'd be a lot easier for that person. Because you place other people's stumps, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You at the start of the game, you pass your stumps to the left.
Mm-hmm. And the echidnas are very chunky echidnas, right? They're very, like, you can palm them, and they're nice and big to move around the board.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was pretty cool. That was another fun one. What about you, Faith? What was probably your favorite game? I know it's hard for you to pick just one, but did you have a favorite game from the convention?
Nope.
Of course not. Too many to choose from.
Okay, I'm going to try. But choosing is like the hardest thing for me in the entire world.
Why don't you pick like one or two?
I'm going to pick a million. No, I'm kidding. The Rummy Gummy game, which is a game about playing gummy bears and you're trying to find a big set of them, was one of my favorite games because, I just really liked it.
Was it fun because it was fast?
It was really fun because it was a fast game.
Yep.
You could play really, really fast.
And it's kind of like a reskin or an upgrade on Gin and Rummy, with a little bit more strategy to it. And we'll probably talk about that one a little bit more at a later date. But yeah.
And then my other favorite game was Terra del Mar, which was the fishing game that we were talking about earlier. So what it was is you are a fisherman and you sell fish at the market, but you got to go catch them.
Mm-hmm.
So you're working with your money and your fish with your fish, you get money, you get houses, you go up on your tourist attractions. And if you get up to 6 tourist attractions, you win the game.
Nice.
So it's a pretty simple game, easy to play. But there's a twist.
Uh-oh.
You have to go catch fish, but there are different numbers, and you have to roll the dice, and that number, and it's got to roll that number if you add the two numbers together to equal that number. So that's the twist.
Okay, very nice.
You gotta figure out a good spot that'll give you that'll give you fish. And green fish are the best. Yellow fish are kind of in the middle, and blue fish are the worst.
Gotcha.
And you're building houses. It's just a really fun game.
That's awesome. That's the game. Only you played that. The rest of us were nowhere to be found during that time.
Uh-huh.
Anna, tell me about your favorite experience and your favorite game that you experienced at TantrumCon.
Yeah, I'd say, there's a lot we haven't even mentioned yet.
Sure.
I don't know if it's going to be anybody's favorite, but I feel like we should mention the fact that they did have a family room.
Oh, yeah.
For younger kids. Our kids just decided they wanted to play games the whole time.
Yep.
But in the family room,
I love to do it, but
yeah, but they had some dexterity games, some games with big pieces on the floor, balloons, fun places for the kids to color.
Some snacks.
And they had some snacks. And they also had some events, like I think they had a movie night each night or some things like that. They had a game library that we did utilize a few times, which was fun. A lot of different ones you could check out and play. They had a social deduction room that had social deduction games going on the entire time, which was pretty cool. And several different areas like an area for train games or an area for D&D style games. And you mentioned the crokinole and that they did a tournament, but if you can cut that out if that was your favorite part.
I was going to talk about it next, but yeah.
It's fine. But I'd say probably my favorite experience, though, was that I got to play a game in a theme that I very much enjoy, which is hiking the Appalachian Trail. Somebody had made a game and was looking for people to kind of play test it with him. He'd done a lot of play testing already, but he was at that stage of trying to refine and get everything perfect in the game. And so I got to play this game that somebody had made. It was his game. He had taken a lot of the pictures for the game on the Appalachian Trail. And that was a really special experience. Getting to experience a game that nobody could play yet was really special. Getting to experience and talk about the dream behind the game with the person that had created and designed it, and getting to play a game about something that I love, which is hiking. So that was a special experience.
Yeah, that's awesome. So one other thing, we've mentioned a lot of cool things, and there's others. Like, we didn't really participate in a lot of the events just because the kids, most of the events were geared towards older adult or older kids' ages, which is fine. But
I remember that, like, the one event that I might have been able to go to, I was like 3 years from it, but
yeah,
well, and Dad got to go to a couple of events.
That's true.
While we stayed and did in the Play to Win room or the Hot Games room.
Yeah.
Those were our favorites.
But they had, one of the things that I liked is that in addition to the exhibit hall, they had the open hallway for demoers to demo games that were either just being published then or hadn't been published yet, to give them space to bring people in as well. I also really liked that. And then I also really enjoyed getting the probably 30 or 40 tables of crokinole set up and getting to play
we learned
crokinole.
That Hope is better at crokinole than me.
Yeah, getting to see the girls make some insane shots was so much fun.
Hopi, literally, Hopi's first shot, Hopi's first shot was Joy had shot, and she had gotten like almost in the middle, and then Hope shot, knocked Joy straight off the board and hit right in the middle first shot. That was completely insane.
Hope, what is your secret to amazing crokinole?
I'm not telling.
Nah. But my favorite gaming experience from the weekend was from a small publisher, Grodd Games, who brought Estate Raise the Realm. And this is a game that brings aspects of Wingspan and Agricola and Everdell, and kind of brings them all together to be able to create this game where you're nobles rebuilding this kingdom after a great war. And when we saw it the first day, I was like, all right, this is kind of cool. I like some of these games, and I like the different things that I see going on here from a game perspective. But that night, I went back to the apartment and did some research and found the Kickstarter and kind of found this guy's story. It's actually a couple. Like, the guy's the designer, and it's Devin and Catherine. Catherine is more on the business side, from my understanding, and Devin is the designer. But the vision is that we're creating multiple games within this world that are all going to be very different types of games, and they're all going to build on the world itself. So this one right now is very, like, not as lore dependent, but more just to kind of introduce you. And there's some other things that are going to go on in different weights of game style. And so I'm very excited to see how that one plays out. And I also really enjoyed Estate, so I'm excited to get it back to the table and play it some more.
Man, it was hard to choose a favorite game. I'll start with that.
That's true. There were multiple ones that
there were multiple
we're very
really good
excited
ones. I really enjoyed the fountain game, but since Hope already said that, I very much enjoyed getting a full playthrough of 12 Rivers.
Okay.
We had demoed that back in August at Gen Con.
Sure.
And
12 Rivers.
You were watching Blue
that
at
was,
the time.
yeah, you guys were either under the table or in a corner watching a show by then, because I think you were done.
Yeah, we were done that time.
But 12 Rivers has a really cool, easy setup aspect where you rely on gravity and how these stones flow down the river to collect them for your village. So it was a fascinating demo at Gen Con, and I really loved getting a full playthrough of the game. It's a very pretty game, just strategy, collecting resources. It went really fun. And that was also in the Hot Games section that was taught by the Love Thy Nerd people. It was fun. One person, Michael, actually sat and played with us the entire time. Cool. So again, more building relationships and things. That was a really cool part of the con.
Yeah, we'd seen Love Thy Nerd a couple times, but it was always kind of in passing, and so it was nice to be able to sit down and kind of talk through what they do and just kind of hang out for a bit. So that was cool too.
Yeah, and also Grace
Mm-hmm.
sat down and played with us for well over an hour, I'm sure, and playing Brick Like This, which is a game where you've got a silhouette of what a finished Lego sculpture looks like,
Sure.
and you're trying to describe to a partner how to build it as fast as possible. And it's got funny little challenges you can do and different levels. And so we just explored that game for so long, and it was just fun to sit down and play, build a relationship with somebody, and have the leisure time to be able to play a game eight times in a row if we wanted to.
For sure.
Yeah.
I'll say one more thing, too, as we kind of wrap up here. As media, I really appreciated that TantrumCon put out several different things where we could connect, whether it's with publishers or designers or other media. And it was very, there's several cons that are very like Gen Con, where it's go, 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 and it's very intense. And this one's much more leisure. It's much more, hey, let's just get together and hang out, like we've been talking about. And so if this is, like, if you're media and you're on the smaller side like we are, I would highly encourage this one to be one where you try and check out next year, because it gives you a chance to really meet some people in the industry and learn some things about what's going on and make some of those connections. And then, like we talked about, for families, I think this was a big hit. So with that, girls, I have one final question for you.
Okay.
Do you want to go back to TantrumCon next year?
Yes!
Yeah.
Joy's fading because it's late at night when we're recording this. But I think we're all already putting it on the calendar for next year because they were very excited to go.
Oos! Oos!
What do you think that means? All right.
We're so old.
You're so old, you barely know anything.
Whoa! All right, well.
We're going to edit that part out.
We got some cheeky kids around this table.
All right, well, if you have any thoughts on TantrumCon or any of the games mentioned, or games that you played at TantrumCon, or games that you played while TantrumCon was going on, we would love to hear from you. I'll have all the links in the description. Please feel free to reach out any of those ways, and we would love to engage in that conversation and connect. 5-star reviews, subscribing your podcast player of choice, following this podcast, and whether it's Spotify or Apple or whatever podcast platform you use, or even on YouTube. We are on YouTube now, and working to grow that as well. All those things are great. And special thanks to Ashley McCaffrey for our cover art, to Anna Snyder for the music, and until next time, may your dice rolls and your card draws be blessed, and your experiences at the table be ones to remember forever.
Goodbye.
Bye-bye.